Hello, my friends. This is Barbara Mueller, and I'm just so happy. Why? Because I get to finally interview this wonderful Larry Strober. I don't know if you know about Larry, but today you're going to find out something that will probably give him a Nobel Peace Prize because he is spearheading for Rotary all of the peace polls that are possible. He's putting together rotarypeacepolls.world. Imagine that we would have peace polls in every part of our planet. And these peace polls are there because we want peace on planet Earth. So, Larry, I welcome you to our Peace Podcast today, and we're looking forward to a little of your history.
Yeah, so let's start with what is a peace poll? A peace pole is either a plastic 8-foot pole or a wooden pole or something your elementary school kids put together. But the key words on the peace pole are "May peace prevail on earth." And what we're talking about is creating hope in the world, which is our Rotary theme this year, eliminating war from our vocabulary. There are an estimated 200,000 peace polls around the world. It started in 1955 with a gentleman called Masahisa Goi in Hiroshima, Japan. 10 years after the bombing of Hiroshima, Mr. Goi started the Peace Poll Prayer Society, not in vengeance for what happened, but in hope that this never happens again in the future. So a peace poll typically has 4 languages or 8 languages on it. We encourage indigenous languages on it. We like to put together a dedication ceremony around the peace poll. That can be local in your community. Last Monday at our local elementary school, we had 60 second graders and 8 third graders. Wednesday at the Portland Community College, we dedicated a peace poll with the vice president of the university and a bunch of Rotarians, with a commitment to put 14 peace polls at each of their campuses. And then Saturday night at our district conference with 300 Rotarians, we planted a peace poll in Hood River. So
now you're listening to Larry Strober. What is his passion? Have you been able to pick it up? His passion is peace polls. Larry Strober is a Rotarian. And I welcome you as we start to find out why he's so passionate about peace polls. And I'm Barbara Mueller, and I thank you for joining us on Peace Podcast. As I interviewed and talked with Larry before our podcast, he said he just got 2 requests for peace polls from Santa Barbara. Well, that got me excited because I live in Santa Barbara, California. And those of you who have been watching peacepodcast.org know that this is a way that you can share the peace that people, our guests on Peace Podcast, bring you their wisdom, their excitement, and their joy. And you know, today is Global Love Day. And I'm saying that even though we will not be featuring Larry on Global Love Day, because I want you to make every day a love day. I asked Larry, why do you do so much? He said, I love what I do. And I said, I love what I do. And so we started celebrating our equal opportunity for love. Every day is an opportunity for love. So, Larry, let's ask you a couple more questions. You have already given us a little bit of the history. Was this the same foundation, the Goi Peace Prize Foundation, that started this peace polls?
yeah, and that's who we continue to work with. They provide our peace polls. And so we work with them in Wassaic, New York, but their headquarters are still in Hiroshima, Japan. And so, why did I get started doing this? So it goes back, I've been a Rotarian for 11 years, I think, because my first day in Rotary was on April Fool's Day. So April 1, 2013.
Pro one, go boy.
So I became president of the McMinnville Sunrise Club. And
5100, right?
Yeah, District 5100. And Mike Caruso, who is an eminent peace builder in our district, came to our club. Mike started the concept of peace builder clubs in Rotary. And he came to our club and talked about the Al Jubitz challenge. And if you don't know Al Jubitz, you need to know Al Jubitz. He's Mr. Peace in Rotary. Al gave us a challenge in 2016. Can we plant 100 peace poles in our district? So Mike came to our club and said he's going to plant 50 in Newburgh, a town of 26,000. And we just completed with Mike, Al, myself, and a drone, a 3-minute video showing all of the peace poles in Newburgh, which now number 75. So we have this challenge, and I'm president of my Rotary Club. And Mike said, we're going to plant 50. And I said, well, let's plant 10 in McMinnville. So our first one was at McMinnville City Hall. And we had the mayor and 2 presidents of the Rotary clubs, the president of the city council. And then off to the side, there was a Native American with a drum just listening. So I asked whether he would like to speak, and he was totally unprepared, but he spoke for 20 minutes from the heart about what it meant to be a Native American in this country and his hope for peace in the future. And we have now a peace pole at the library, the city park, the Evergreen Museum, the school district headquarters, the high school, the middle school, and we're growing. We're
You sure are
growing.
growing. You know, the website to check out peace polls is rotarypeacepolls.org. Now, no, sorry, rotarypeacepolls.world.
.world, right.
And I love that word world because Larry, you have started something with Al, with Mike Caruso that will go beyond Rotary. It will go into all of our beautiful parks, into our homes. I have a peace pole in my back garden. Why? Because I take it, it's pretty large. I got the tall one and I put it in there so that you could see it beyond my beautiful trees. And so when you walk into my yard, my garden, the first thing you see is peace be with you. May peace prevail on earth. And that was a slogan that came from Pathways to Peace. So we're all interconnected on this beautiful podcast. All of us have a part of the peace puzzle. And as you listen today, invite somebody to join you and talk about how you can bring peace to your community with a simple object like a peace pole. Larry, what if I wanted to bring a peace pole to my home, to my community? What would I do first?
Just go on our website and on that contact, just fill in your question and it goes directly to me. So I get 2 to 4 a day from all over the world. And I make it a practice to respond within 4 hours. Um, and that started last May at our Rotary convention in Melbourne. I had a chance to meet with our Rotary International president-elect, Stephanie Urchek, and we talked about peace polls. And she was almost as excited as I am about peace polls. And maybe now she's more excited. Um, every time she speaks, she talks about peace polls. She wrote an article in the Rotary magazine and included peace polls. She addressed 518 district governor elects at the International Assembly about peace polls. And July 1, she becomes president of Rotary International. In Melbourne, we had 7 peace polls with the indigenous languages of Australia. Do you know we have a peace poll at every primary school in Australia, over 500?
No,
So
I did not know that. That is so exciting. Every child in those schools will be able to remember the peace pole and bring peace into their life.
yeah, so we have over 500 peace polls now in District 5100, and we're growing that on a daily basis.
I
Excuse
have
me.
to stop you for a minute, Larry. Do you realize that you are one person who was at a conference and you talked to the president-elect of Rotary International? You made her aware of the power of peace polls. I'm a member of the board of the Rotary Action Group for Peace, and we talk about Stephanie almost every meeting because we realize how impactful peace polls are today. Now, you would think this inanimate object standing there saying, "May peace prevail on earth," wouldn't have the impact it is, but it does have an impact. And we are now putting benches by the peace polls in Santa Barbara so that we can have a dream. And Larry, as you talk about peace polls, what's your dream for peace polls?
The dream is in ending war. The dream is right now there's 30 conflicts around the globe. And when we say may peace prevail on earth, we're talking about ending those conflicts. We're talking about a better world for our kids, our grandkids. That's what this is all about. Not last Monday, the Monday before, we had a major milestone. How long have you been in Rotary, Barbara?
I was the second woman in Rotary, so that's way back in the late 1980s, because Sylvia Whitlock, who also has a peace podcast, I'll have to say one more thing. Al Jubit's peace podcast is on this group of people too. So I've been a Rotarian for a very long time.
So 2 Mondays ago, we planted a peace pole at Rotary International headquarters in Evanston, Illinois. First time that's been done. Hopefully not the last time.
Good.
But that photo is on our rotarypeacepolls.world website. You should
.world, right.
.world. Go look at it. That's a major milestone.
Oh, you don't even know. Those of you who are not Rotarians, you do not know the impact that this wonderful Larry Strober has had on Rotary International. And I think, Larry, with you and Stephanie, we can end world wars. Go for it.
We're going to go for it. Yeah. So a year ago, I read a report from the Carter Center, and Al Jubitz, Ray Matsumiya, several other Rotarians have been working on an MOU with the Carter Center, which is now signed. The Carter Center looked at a peace pole as a static symbol of Rotary peace efforts. Static meaning without energy, uninteresting. So I put together a group of people, which included Barbara, Al Jubitz, Ray Matsumiya, Richard Denton, Kevin Mann, Dennis Wong, and we put a group together to create a website with Sandy Hinden. And that's our Rotary, rotarypeacepolls.world. But we put a QR code. That QR code is now available and it ships with every Rotary Peace Poll.
Would you have it with you right now? Could you just hold it up at some point? The QR code. I know you sent them to me too. Well, let's both look for it. Whoever finds them first gets a big kiss.
So here.
Oh, you win.
There's our Rotary. So
hey, take your cameras out of your phone, friends, and do that one more time, Larry. Okay, take your camera out. Perfect, right there. Hold it right there. Take a picture. I'm going to do it right now. Hold on, Larry. I'm going to do the same thing. We're all going to take a picture. You know, it only takes a second. Get your camera out. Go to a camera, and I'm going to take a picture. That's Larry. Got it, Larry.
Okay. Did it work?
It worked. Perfect. And you go right to Rotary peacepolls.world. That's our dream. Larry, as I look at you, I think the future of peace polls with the QR code, which is now going to go on peace polls. And how would we get a QR code if we wanted one from you?
Just contact me and I'll mail it to you. It's very easy.
Again, going back.
I only have about 1,000 of them in the office.
Oh, you only have 1,000? If 1,000 people have the peace QR code on their polls, we'll be so happy. And what is your dream, Larry, for our world?
Our dream is peace. It's simple. I have 5 grandchildren. They're getting older as I am, and they should be in a world where we're not getting headlines every day about people being killed. The world deserves better. So that's why we're doing this. This afternoon, I'm talking, do you know David Gershon?
Very much so. He says a peace by 2030.
Right. So we are looking this afternoon. I'm going to listen to him. He's talking about using peace polls as the harbinger for creating peace in the world by 2030, creating a grid of peace polls around the world with stewards on each peace poll. And we're going to talk about how to do this, at 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Is that 2 o'clock our time, Pacific time?
Yes.
He
So
should
he
get
and
in,
I are
joining.
gonna. I'm gonna listen to his ideas, and we're gonna see how we can include peace polls in that project.
Oh,
So
I'm so excited. You have no idea, Larry, how excited I am about peace polls because my husband, Robert Mueller, and I traveled to Japan and we got the Goei Peace Prize for our efforts for peace. And I was so honored to be there and talk to them. And they played the Ode to Joy. And I want that to be our music for ending wars on the planet. If we all have the Ode to Joy in our life. Larry, I want to thank you for being on peacepodcast.org. It will be up next week. You will be featured on Spotify. And if you're in your car and you're listening, just go to Spotify. Just go to peacepolls.org.world and
the
listen,
world.
because we're going to put this up on peacepolls.world, Rotary peacepolls.world, and we're also going to put it on Peace Podcast Spotify. We'll put it, it'll be on YouTube. Tell your friends this is their time to bring peace to their community and start with the peace poll. Larry, let's have a final word from you today.
May peace prevail on earth.
That's the message on the peace polls today. I am so honored to speak to you because your vision has propelled you into your life's work. Now, Larry, I could give you your bio. I could talk about your 35-year career in working with small technology companies in Silicon Valley. I could talk about the number of initiatives he has worked with for small businesses. He's a man with the Peace Village Global idea that each of us can elevate ourselves into peace. Right, Larry?
That's about it. Yeah.
Well, Larry Strober,
So happy to be here.
so happy to have you. And with that, I say, I'm Barbara Gon Mueller, and it is an honor to have you join us each week. And be sure you like us on Facebook so that we can have more people joining us. And with that, I thank you for joining us. And Larry, you've been a very special guest today. And with that, may peace prevail on earth. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you, Barbara.
My pleasure.